Welcome to the Florida Reality Check. Sometimes, I'm requested to describe a place as I would to a buddy. Not loaded with statistics, not crammed with property values, and certainly not like a realtor or state official would portray the location. Essentially, the honest truth in straightforward language. So today, I'm explaining why you shouldn't relocate to Florida, and I'm presenting it as if you're my companion. All right, let's begin. Florida, you're chaotic, honestly. From the Keys northward to the Panhandle, it's universal. They advertise sunshine, but I witness anxiety. Tax increases, bureaucracy, zero advancement. Florida, you're a catastrophe. Regulations that frustrate me constantly. Why can't they manage properly? Florida, you're quite something. So, you're contemplating relocating to Florida. That's adorable. Let me serve some iced tea at bathwater temperature and share a brief tale about an individual exactly like you, wide-eyed, sun-craving, and completely oblivious to what moisture can inflict on the human spirit. We'll designate this courageous newcomer as you because following 5 minutes in the Sunshine State, everybody becomes the protagonist in their personal survival documentary. You arrive, you exit the terminal, and the atmosphere feels like you're trapped in a sauna without an escape route. It's acceptable, you claim. I'll adjust to it. You won't. You simply need improving at pretending it doesn't affect you. Your eyeglasses will condensate. Your antiperspirant will apply for workers' compensation, and your hair explores unprecedented geometric configurations. Welcome to Florida, where the meteorological application is predominantly theatrical performance, and the heat measurement possesses its distinct psychological condition. Summer periods are the absolute worst naturally, but evening provides zero reprieve. It's simply daytime with reduced observers. But you didn't arrive here for climate science, correct? You arrived for the affordable lifestyle. A statement Florida handles the way amusement parks manage queues with spectacular advertising and absolutely zero responsibility. Sure, there's no state income taxation. That's pleasant, and that's somewhat what they'd advertise on promotional material. But the remaining portion of the publication is charges, highway tolls every 6 miles, unexpected homeowners association evaluations, refuse collection that expenses more than practically any alternative state, and insurance invoices that are approximately as terrifying as a Stephen King narrative about a murderous zombie spider clown. Your property insurance has transformed into nightmare material in recent years. The national average annual insurance premium in the United States is approximately $2,481 for a $300,000 residence. In Florida, it's $5,761. That's $3,353 above the national average. The only two exceeding that are Nebraska, for mysterious reasons, at $6,366 and Louisiana at $6,274. Why on earth are individuals paying that magnitude of money for homeowners insurance in Nebraska? I don't comprehend that one whatsoever, but that's what's occurring. And before inquiring, California, because everyone's claiming it's cheaper than California. No, it's not. The average in California is $1,632. If you desire a video where I evaluate all 50 states by homeowners insurance, notify me in the comment area. If your roof is older than a labradoodle, your premium skyrockets. If you reside near a breeze and water exists anywhere in the county, congratulations. You additionally require flood insurance, windstorm protection, and a deductible so substantial it should arrive with a commemorative shovel. At renewal period, your insurer might disappear on you like an unsuccessful date. Then you encounter the state's insurer of final resort, which feels substantially like a relationship established on "we both comprehend why we're here, don't we?" Regarding your roof on that new residence, you'll discover the phrase 4-point inspection. It's like a Hogwarts incantation. Meanwhile, billboards scream, "Injured in a storm? Contact us every 6 feet." Florida possesses more attorneys per traffic signal than some communities possess traffic signals, and they're not bashful. Lawsuit culture here resembles an all-you-can-consume buffet. Automobile accident, slip and tumble. Mosquitoes glance at you incorrectly. There's a number to contact. Individuals sue insurance corporations. Insurance corporations sue roofers. Roofers sue the meteorological conditions. The weather doesn't appear in court because it's occupied destroying your patio furnishings. Everybody's got a narrative and 3 relatives in litigation. They are absolutely litigation happy in Florida. It's among the worst in the nation. California is fairly bad. Florida surpasses them with lawsuits, and it's all slip and tumble. It's genuinely peculiar, and portion of the explanation the insurance is so elevated in Florida is because of roofing. There was this situation where roofers discovered that the state will compensate for a new roof, so they would simply go door to door. Desire a new roof? It doesn't expense you a penny. You simply complete this documentation. We'll manage everything from there. So it was essentially an insurance claim, and the insurance corporations couldn't genuinely combat it or anything similar, so it simply drove up insurance costs. Now, I recognize they've been alternating back and forth, and they may have resolved it by now to a degree. But for an extended period, it genuinely disrupted Florida. I examined this entire situation on it. It was a while back, but essentially roofing was a significant component of the insurance rates escalating through the roof in Florida. I mean, hurricanes don't assist either, but anyway. So, you commence house searching. You access Zillow. You commence seeking a place that's a genuine bargain, but it's in an HOA. And in HOAs, they state peculiar material like, return that concept back where you discovered it. You can't paint your front entrance the incorrect shade of beige without the Spanish Inquisition. You desire a mailbox that demonstrates personality? Not here, rebel scum. Conformity in all HOAs in Florida. I somewhat discussed this in an HOA video I produced not too long ago. The explanation Florida and so many alternative states are genuinely into HOAs now is because it saves them tax money, because if the sidewalk is completely deteriorated in your HOA, the HOA is going to compensate for it, not the municipality. You require everything resurfaced, the streets, the roads, whatever. The municipality's not going to compensate for that. The HOA is. You're compensating the HOA to actually compensate for these things. They simply position the burden back on the individuals. The expense of housing here, well, supply encountered demand, and then they eloped to a different state. Renters observe their leases renew like a high-stakes game show. Homeowners in Florida are now examining the prices and contemplating, maybe those Minnesota winters aren't that terrible. After all, the average Florida home value in 2019 was $244,000. In 2025, that's $396,000 after peaking in April of 2024 at $450,000. That's like all the statistics you're going to obtain. Now I comprehend it. That's not the worst in the country, but it's almost like you entered a Dollar General and discovered everything is $5. Now, if you made it this far and you're still interested in Florida, should understand about the roads, because eventually you will encounter Interstate 4, a highway that has never once been completed. A highway that has never once been completed. Interstate 4 has a theme, and that theme is purgatory. Every day it attempts to grow up to be something else, but fails majestically. Toll roads are everywhere. You'll discover the SunPass dance, which is like regular driving, except you forfeit small amounts of money to keep your car moving. If you make it from point A to point B without paying a toll, they designate that a Florida miracle. Now let's discuss inflation, because it's getting worse and worse in Florida. I mean, it's getting worse throughout the nation, but Florida, it's getting genuinely terrible. Groceries expense substantially more than they did 3 years ago, and it's still escalating every single month. Electricity invoices appear with the energy of a plot twist. Everything that requires to be cooled, refrigerated, dried expenses more, which is to state everything. You'll purchase a dehumidifier for your bedroom, a second one for your closet, and then one for your soul. You'll commence wrapping your bread like it's going scuba diving. Mold is the unofficial state flower in Florida. Caulk becomes your love language, and that wasn't something inappropriate. I'm discussing the substance that goes around your windows and your bathtub, all that. Get your minds out of the gutter. Healthcare in Florida is a choose-your-own-adventure book where every ending is, please hold. In winter, every snowbird arrives with their medical records, and the waiting rooms resemble airport gates for individuals with neck pillows and opinions on everything. Primary care visits occur on a lunar cycle. Specialists suggests a date that sounds like a retirement plan. Hospital access varies widely by zip code, which you'll discover the day you genuinely desire the quality antibiotics. The ER is a social mixer for individuals who slip on tile they cleaned with a product designed to lubricate bowling lanes. So, you desire to obtain a job in Florida? If you're in hospitality, congratulations. You're in the state's economy. If you don't work in hospitality, congratulations. you still depend on it. Tourism is Florida's lifeblood, but it's unpredictable. A big storm strikes, a travel warning gets loud, a new ride malfunctions, or someone posts a viral video of a man wrestling an alligator with flip-flops, and suddenly your neighbor's hours get reduced. Your friend's restaurant retools its concept, and the local news shifts to a permanent state of coming up next, how to survive a downturn in the economy. The economy is a roller coaster designed by committee that forgot its seatbelts. When it's satisfactory, it's excellent. When it's not, you discover how to stretch shrimp into a week of recipes. Severe weather isn't simply an event here. It's programming. Afternoon thunderstorms arrive on schedule like a soap opera. Thunder, lightning, applause, credits. Lightning is Florida's version of confetti. Hurricanes are the season finale nobody requested. You're suddenly an amateur meteorologist residing in a danger zone. You'll be boarding up your windows and then taping in different patterns that experts state don't make a difference, but it makes your heart feel occupied, so you're satisfied about it. You'll fill your bathtub, you'll charge the battery packs, and you'll purchase water like you're opening up a car wash that doesn't have a hose. And you'll get in a physical altercation over the last generator with a man named Ray who believes tarps are a personality trait. If a storm strikes, you awaken, and your backyard is now a lake named after you. If it misses, you possess 400 cans of tuna and a sudden respect for wind. Between storms, the air cultivates algae. Red tide appears and states, your beach day is canceled, and that if you've never been around red tide, it somewhat smells like a fish market dumpster. You understand? You were promised turquoise waters when traveling down to Florida, but what you obtained was tomato soup that smells genuinely terrible. Wildlife here is, let's state, confident. Alligators pretend retention ponds are their living rooms. Snakes rehearse in your shrubs. Iguanas tumble out of trees when it gets cold, which is somewhat like Florida's version of snowfall. The mosquitoes are unionized, and the union is in satisfactory standing. Now, oddly enough, Florida is not the worst state for mosquitoes. You would think it is, and most individuals assume that is. In my experience, one of the worst states for mosquitoes is Michigan. Oh my goodness, the summer of the mosquitoes, it's extremely horrible. They've got way too much standing water. Now, Florida has substantial amounts too, but there's simply something occurring in Michigan. It's like, I don't comprehend. It's horrible. I've been to Florida many times. I've been to Michigan a few times. Michigan wins. So, you're probably wondering about politics. Think of Florida as a Thanksgiving table that never concludes. Half the state arrives to discuss freedom, while the other half constructs a PowerPoint about consequences, and everyone is armed with yard signs. School boards become gladiator arenas. County commissions get spicy. Your favorite brewery declares a stance on something you thought was off the menu. And suddenly, happy hour is a debate club with pretzels. Political polarization here isn't new, but it's exceptionally athletic. You'll discover to discuss the weather, wildlife, and which public subs are the least soggy, and then you'll go home and secure your door. Speaking of Publix, the grocery store will sell you a chicken tender sub that makes you forget your problems for 7 minutes or so. The grocery stores in Florida are somewhat peculiar, and individuals are heavily into Publix. It seems like I miss the old days of the South where every place possessed a Piggly Wiggly. I don't even think those things are out anymore or open. I think they shut down all of them. Let's discuss the water quality. Water quality is a never-ending plot twist here. Some days it smells faintly like coins. Other days it's like boiled eggs, and occasionally like someone attempted to brew coffee in a tire. You will invest in numerous different filters for your sink, for your pool, for your bathtub. Filters are important here in Florida because their water quality is terrible. Now, there's another thing you require to understand about. It's wet, it's humid, and there's substantial amounts of salt air. So, everything metal you possess is going to get rusty, including your car. Now, if you got kids, you're going to be worried about the education here. Now, they've got excellent schools, mediocre schools, and a whole bunch of underfunded schools. Now, you might be contemplating, but the beaches. Yes, the beaches exist, and they are attractive when they're not actively attempting to exfoliate the paint off your car with wind-blown sand. On a satisfactory day, the water is postcard-worthy, and you'll briefly comprehend why individuals live here. On an unsatisfactory day, the jellyfish hold conventions, and the UV index plays chicken with your epidermis. Now, if you still desire to come to Florida, you'll require a plan that's more than I love palm trees. Budget like they taught you in some freshman year basic math class. Factor in your insurance that jumps taller than you. If you're purchasing, get a roof that's younger than your favorite sitcom. If you're renting, prepare for yearly price hikes that feel like a limited-time offer from a supervillain. When you choose a neighborhood, visit at 4:45 p.m. just to get a feel for the place. See how the traffic is. See how the individuals are when they're off work. Explore, but pay attention. Confirm your healthcare network in writing. Store water like you're launching a submarine. Learn the difference between a watch and a warning and how to open a can with your car keys. Keep cash on hand because ATMs like to take naps during storms. Purchase a cooler. You'll use it more than your oven. If you do land in Florida, make peace with the critters. Everything here either bites, stings, itches, or flies. Don't feed the alligators unless you enjoy headlines. If a lizard runs into your house, it's legally your new roommate. If your yard backs up to a pond, that pond also backs up to you. Keep your small dogs on leashes unless you're running a raptor rescue program. And please brace yourself for the conversations that always detour into culture war subjects in Florida. Learn the art of nodding without agreeing. Keep your social media private and your neighborhood opinions in a locked box guarded by a raccoon with a degree in conflict resolution. You can live here and be sane, but you must do it like a cat in a bathtub, alert, strategic, and with an exit route. Florida is beautiful and ridiculous. It's a postcard stapled to a weather alert. It's sunsets and sirens, flip-flops and insurance adjusters, palm trees and paperwork. People thrive here, but no one coasts. The sun is relentless, the rules are flexible, and the bills are theoretical, and storms appear like an ex who just happened to be in the neighborhood. If you're contemplating of relocating, don't bring a fantasy. Bring a spreadsheet, a surge protector, and a tolerance for chaos, and a sense of humor that can survive on canned tuna and warm Gatorade. You'll require all four. If after hearing this, you're still planning on joining the Florida party, have your medication checked because something ain't right. Alright, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out. Have a great day.